Maybe you've been quiet lately. Not the kind of quiet that feels peaceful, but the kind that echoes. You've prayed, meditated, journaled, but still nothing moves. You look for signs and all you see is silence. You try to believe, but something in you feels numb. If this is where you are right now, this message is for you. Not to fix you, but to remind you. Sometimes when it feels like your faith is breaking, it's actually being rebuilt, but not in the way you thought, not in the light, in the breaking. Let me explain. There's a strange moment on the spiritual path. When the things that used to inspire you don't work anymore, the books feel hollow, the rituals feel robotic, the universe silent. You start to wonder, did I lose my way? But here's a deeper truth. The weakening of your old faith is not a failure, it's a sacred unraveling, like the snake shedding its skin or the seed splitting open in darkness before it grows. Your old belief system wasn't wrong, it was just temporary. You've outgrown the container. And that tension you feel, that's the invitation. You are being asked to rebuild something real, not inherited, not memorized, but reborn. Sometimes the absence of signs is the sign. The silence isn't punishment, it's space, sacred space, designed to redirect you inward. You're being weaned off external validations so you can hear your own voice again. Because that's where your real GPS is. Not out there, but inside. The stillness is calling you home, to your own soul. Can you feel it? The quiet tug pulling you back to center? To where guidance doesn't sound like fireworks, but like a whisper behind your heartbeat? That is the guidance, but you must be still enough to hear it. Sometimes what we call spiritual crisis is actually resistance, not to darkness, but to light, because something in you knows if you surrender, things will change, and that's terrifying. Even if you're suffering, at least you know this version of you. Letting go means stepping into the unknown, so we resist. But here's a gentle question. What part of you are you holding on to even though it no longer fits? A belief? A routine? A role you've outgrown? Try this simple practice. Tonight, before bed, place your hand on your heart and ask, what am I resisting that's trying to guide me? Let the answer come in its own time. Your body always knows. Yes, it's possible to get exhausted from trying too hard to be spiritual, from chasing the next breakthrough, the next ritual, the next shift, until you forget how to just be. This isn't a loss of faith, it's burnout, spiritual saturation. You're not meant to ascend every day. Some days you're meant to lie on the floor and do absolutely nothing. And that is holy too. If your rituals feel dry, stop forcing them. Find one that makes you feel alive, not obligated. One breath, one candle, one real conversation with your soul. That's enough. Faith isn't built through repetition. It's rebuilt through resonance. And there are moments life hits you so hard, it splits your belief system wide open. A death, a betrayal, a dream collapsing, and suddenly everything you thought you believed feels too small. This is real, and it's devastating. But it's also the exact soil where something new can grow. A woman once told me she lost her faith the day her partner died. But months later, in a quiet walk under the stars, she whispered to the sky, if you're still there, just help me feel one reason to stay. That night, she dreamt of her partner's smile. No words, just presence. She didn't get her old faith back. She found a new one, more fragile, more honest, but somehow more sacred. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. It's the doorway. To question is to care. To wrestle is to want truth, not illusion. The key is not to question alone. Speak it, share it. Find someone who has walked through the fog and come out softer. Sometimes we just need someone to say, I've been there too. And if no one is there, speak to life itself. Write a letter that begins, I don't know who or what you are anymore, but I want to reconnect. That's a prayer. That's a beginning. And even in the absence of answers, try gratitude. Yes, even now, because gratitude isn't agreement, it's alignment. It tells the universe, I'm still here, still listening, and that matters more than you think. So here we are, you in the middle of not knowing, maybe bruised by the silence, maybe doubting everything, and yet still listening, still open. And that is faith. Not the loud, confident kind, the kind that trembles, that questions, but still shows up. Here's your practice. Tonight, write an honest prayer. Not one you think you should say, but one that says everything you're afraid to say. And end it with, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm willing to begin again. Then breathe. Light a candle, or just sit in the dark with your hand on your heart. This is your altar now. Faith is not something you find, it's something you rebuild, moment by moment, breath by breath. And in this quiet return to yourself, you are already guided, even now, especially now. Losing faith doesn't mean you're broken, it means something deeper is waking. Silence can be guidance, resistance is often protection. Spiritual burnout is a signal to come back to simplicity, and doubt is a sacred bridge. You're not at the end, you're at the threshold. Even in the silence, I am guided. Even in doubt, I am held. I release the old and receive what is true for me now. Daily ritual. Each morning this week, place both hands over your heart and whisper, guide me in a way I can feel today. Then pause and let your breath be the prayer. If this message found you at the right time, trust that it was meant to. You are not alone. You are in the in-between, where true faith begins. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs it. Sometimes, all we need is to know we're still on the path, even when it disappears beneath our feet.